been quite a long time since I made any kind of update, and I figured now is as good a time to do it as any. I'm excavating here for the installation of a new storage room. This will use the mechanics that are yet to be released, but the old storage room is getting way too full. I'm going to be turning this, which has functioned as my storage room since that day. I'll be turning this all into a super smelter. Since last time, I've had a crack at villager breeding, or rather, getting the enchantments I want, which has been successful. But up here, hang on a moment, up on the next level is the Il Mango farm design for sugarcane. As I often have over the years playing Minecraft, this is one of my favourite elements of the game, second only to maybe item sorting, like managing items, is figuring out in what order to tackle your big projects. So, I need to make a new storage room. That requires smelting up a lot of bricks to make bricks. So, I need to extend this first, but extending this means tearing up my storage room. And I can't do that because I don't have the new storage room. So what do I do? I'm probably gonna extend the super smelter and just demolish most of the storage room and build the chests down there first. It's gonna be a mess. A very scary change is occurring. For the first time in about a year, the flying machine of the bamboo farm is going to be decommissioned. This is kind of a scary moment, but I am confident in the plan. You can tell this clock dates from the very beginning because I've never put the floor under it. I want to try and get this across. Taking apart redstone machinery probably doesn't seem like much. But, for example, this. I built this many, many months ago. And when I did, it really felt like quite an achievement. I hadn't had a super smelter like it before. And nor have I since. That's what this is going to be. But expanding it, at first it was just these 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 7. And then I realized I could add another 4 on each end. So that's 14 and 8, 24 furnaces. Now, with lines and lines and lines and lines of furnaces, that will be the continuation of this. But it's a shame that the original isn't going to survive in some fashion. I hope that these videos can be a good log of that. It genuinely feels, in terms of the history of my little world, like I'm undoing a bit of history. Here's another example of some, for me, ancient engineering going on. So, because a lot of what happened here was an afterthought, it was really hard to take a readout from the last item hopper that fills the furnaces to be filled to decide whether to redirect the sugarcane from the machines into the smelter as opposed to the crafter in the other room. I had to stretch this wiring and do whatever is going on here. I really don't know what's going on there. Actually, I think it was like that. That makes more sense. But I had to really fight to make it fit into this space because I was building it as I learnt. And now I have expertise. It's really good. So this is going to be a real pain. The problem I have is that when I break these, the sugarcane is going everywhere. So it's just the hoppers I want. It's going to fill my inventory. Just let the sugarcane go everywhere. You can spend hours on something before realizing you're just trying to reinvent the wheel. So I wanted to go for a kind of Victorian boiler look, but it's not really simple. This is the answer. I just thought of a phrase that I think applies to this really well. It's out with the old. You can see the areas of the floor where the clock that used to run the factory sat. You can see see where the base of the old smelter used to be. The old indicator panel I've disconnected mostly. Still kind of running. You can see the bamboo farm is well overgrown. And this is the replacement smelter. Simple. And it's nearly finished. Now, I just need to go in and make spaces for little boosters in the water column so that the items fly all the way across. That point in art where you start getting tired and start making bad decisions, that happens in Minecraft too. So, I've come back the next morning and I've just discovered that I left the game running all night with all the doors open. It's a miracle I wasn't killed. Anyway, but with the knowledge of hindsight, I'm getting rid of all of that. I'm redoing the mechanism that chooses between whether the fuel from the bamboo farm goes into that room or that room. And it's going to be a lot cleaner. This just means that when the items are coming along, it'll detect whether it needs refueling. And if it needs refueling, it'll go into this position. The items won't be able to go in that direction because they're blocked. But when the fuel is filled, they'll swap. This will be the first test since I broke the old clock. I just need to figure out where's the button? I think it was in the old room. I just have to do this. Okay. How about this? And now I need to run these. Oh my god. So that is going to dump into there. Oh god. Oh god, it's not working. And I know why. Alright. I'm just adding the controller, which will decide when the fuel comes in. And how this works is this comparator checks if this hopper is filled with bamboo. And I've got it set so that when it's full, this comes on. So you can leave just one out and it won't come on. But when it's full, it will. What I've quickly put together is the new timer that'll activate the bamboo farm. So it's pretty straightforward in that every minute this activates this hopper. When that activates, it pushes one item into this. And when all the items from this hopper move into this hopper, this activates. You'll run the pulse out of this, probably run it around here, over this, through here, and then up to the old input. And then this will be running again. We're pretty much finished when it comes to putting together this new smelter. Just recreating some footage that I lost between the last scene and this next scene, I added in these rails over the hoppers. That is how whatever you're smelting... What? That is how whatever you're smelting gets put into the chests. There you go. It's out of fuel right now, but that's all it is. Pretty simple. And then this turns off both of these with redstone under the floor. Now, dear viewer, that the furnace is complete, I hear you ask, you use a lot of brick. Where do you get the clay? I don't know if you had to gather clay in the past in this game, but it used to take an extremely long time to get any amount of brick because you had to go to swamps. It was horrible. It's a beautiful building material though. I will show you where I get the clay. This is where I get the clay. I was ecstatic when they added this because I instantly knew it would open up whole new opportunities. Like, it's a beautiful cave, but you cannot beat it for clay sourcing. So, like everywhere else in my world, I am slowly stripping it of its natural beauty. The machine should functionally be complete, and the clay, which I've put down there, should be ready to be smelted. Now, as soon as that bamboo is finished farming, this machine will be totally filled with fuel. At that point, it will have its first run. Both minecarts are filled. There is one error in the system. It turns out that corner rails going over a hopper take 2 items out sometimes instead of 1. That's a problem for me. I really want this to do the whole double chest. That frustrates me, because then you have to wait for the next round of fuel to come in, which is just a bit of a pain. Next, we'll be working on this new storage space. I plan to have a central line to which all the farms in the factory will pile their items into, and then I'll have item sorters, which will separate out those items and put them into double chests. So there'll be kind of a... Well, firstly an entrance. Like, there'll be an entrance this way and this way. But there'll be stacks of chests on a little kind of open area here. It'll make sense. But anyway... That's all.